Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gaming Roid, and welcome back to modern Skyblock 3. So, let's get some Manulian on the hunt. I've done a few tweaks and changes. I found that, this thing is just super slow. Basically, this thing has been pumping water into itself and running non-stop for probably about half an hour, and it's made me 9 salt, so it's just super slow. I have no idea what we use the salt for. We use the salt for exactly the same purposes that we use all the other salt for. Yeah, we can just use any salt for this. So if we look up salt, there are far easier ways to get salt than this. I'm not quite sure why. That's the immersive text salt, the mechanism salt. There is like a Pam's Harvestcraft salt that is just buckets of water in a pot. So I'm not really sure why it's doing that. I've set this up over here so that we've got this pumping out into 3. We've got a full stationary tank of diesel. We've got a full stationary tank of gasoline, a little bit more gasoline and some lubricant. This is all full of oil. We've still got oil left in there. I've tidied this up, gotten rid of all those extra filter things that weren't actually working. We've got everything we need for night slime, and also I've kind of upgraded this so it now has chests full of wooden frames in it. And it is slowly just gathering me iron, copper and nickel. It's just a easy way of kind of making that more efficient. I've made myself some more sky crystal, and I've made myself some more stone, which I haven't actually put in the stone user yet. Let's just come on, come down. Show me more stone. So I've made quite a bit of stone, shall we say. This goes in the stone user, and this allows us to make... tell you what, let's just take 2 of these and make ourselves a chest to put behind the stone user. This allows us to make ore rather than ingots. It's slightly less efficient use of the dust, but to be honest, we can make the dust more easily than we can make the sky crystal. Because the dust just costs like 20 to 30% of a alchemical dust, whereas the sky crystal costs 40 to 60% of an alchemical dust. And the fact that we can double the ores up in the smeltery, it just means that in the end, like for a lot of the basic ores that we can do cheaply, you're just better off using stone. There's Manulian. You can set that up to pump out to 1, 0, and then if we melt up these, which should be pretty dang quick, really, all things considered. The slime certainly melts fast. You can get the stone on cooking as well. That should make us night slime. The Manulian is done. Manulian is kind of useful. Manulian gives us access to Manulian casings, Manulian armor, of course, but also to the Manulian alchemical and Manulian heat components, and subsequently the Manulian condenser, which is 310% speed and 740% efficiency. That's a very efficient one. We also have the Manulian combustor, which uses lava rather than RF, but it's very efficient. Now, the reason I'm going to stick with the one I've got at the moment, which is less efficient, is because it uses RF, and I have a self-sustaining RF generation system. An RF generation system that I just don't have to worry about. Other than that, we have the Manulian casing, which allows for decent level of heat and is very efficient casing as well. I've got the endstone casing, which allows for even more heat. And then just Manulian fences. So we have a few different bits and pieces. So there's our night slime. What are we missing? We're missing seared stone, because it takes 2 ingots worth of seared stone to make each bit of night slime. So hopefully what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to even this out, because I have put in an even number of iron ingots, and it uses half an iron ingot per night slime. So we should be able to even that out. And once we've completed this one, the basin upgrade, which we can actually have a look at in the word basin. For the basin upgrade, we just need 4 basins, 4 obsidian, and a diamond chest upgrade, which requires Manulian nuggets. Ah, this is why we need Night Slime and Manulian. Ah, I get you now. That's why we need Night Slime and Manulian. Okay. That's fine. I now understand why we need the night slime manually. I was wondering why it wanted us to finish those off first. It's because we actually need a top level upgrade before we can do this. So what have we got? We've got 1 ingot. So if we put 3 more in, that should be everything. And we'll have a little bit of purple slime left over, but that doesn't especially matter. Now up here, our spectral trees are growing. So we can grab out our axe. 1 second, guys. Okie dokie. So let's dig up our spectral trees and get some ectoplasm. The ectoplasm key, which allows us to get access to our own private ectoplasm dimension, is kind of useful. Do we get any ectoplasm from that at all? Doesn't look like it. We've still got some leaves to break, but... There we go. So let's just... I suppose that's fine. Okay, so we did pick up some extra fruits as well, which we can nom on. And these are things we haven't eaten yet, so they'll add into our collection of stuff we haven't eaten yet. How are we doing? We've got no more iron in there. We've got 500 millibuckets of night slime. Sorry, 500 millibuckets of purple slime. So you look up the recipe for this in alloying. That's what? 4 more. So if we go 8 like that, and then we go and grab 4 iron, which shouldn't be too hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! Yeah, I found that I kind of produced a lot of resources early on, and that's going to put some blood in there. Dang it. Ah, well, we can pour the blood out later on. But I found that I made a lot of resources early on, and I haven't actually really, apart from making steel to do immersive engineering, I haven't actually needed to make resources for a while. Things have just been chugging away on their own. I mean, I was getting a lot of iron, gold, and diamonds and things from this system. I mean, even if you look now, if I go down to stuff that we can smelt down in the smeltery, which is the iron armor and gold armor, I've got 64 leggings, 64 helmets, 64 boots. And in the gold armor, I've got 77 chest plates, which is the only thing we get, 77 chest plates for gold. And then I've also got the horse armors, so I've got 44 iron and 34 gold horse armors and 35 diamond horse armors. Can I break these down? I need to break those down in a pulverizer, but once we get into embers, I can break down all of the other diamond armor I've got, which isn't going to be too bad. I've got 375 of the Technicolor glasses, which are useless for pretty much everything. But you can see that I've got an awful lot of just materials available. 23 buckets of fire water, which I think we can use to burn. We've got 15 staffs of travelling, and I've got all of these empowered things as well, which hopefully I can strip the capacitors out of. I'm kind of hoping you can take the capacitors out of, because these things have like dual layer and octadidic capacitors inside them. And then actually one thing I do want to do while we're waiting for all that to finish is I've got all of these things I got out of the epic megaloots and rare megaloots and things. And I've been told if I just put you up one, move you over here, and then I make myself a hopper or 2. And some iron. We are running a little bit low on iron. That's the one thing I would note, is we are actually running a little bit low on iron. And I make myself a couple of hoppers. 1, 2. And then go the usual bloop, bloop. Now, if I put a tool in here, like so, and tell it to disenchant. Ah, no, it pulls it out straight away. Break you. And I put a tool in here and tell it to disenchant, and then I put other tools in here. I've been told it will just... No, it doesn't. So I was told that this was just going to auto-output correctly, but it doesn't actually do that. It doesn't put things into the right slots. It just puts things into any old slots. So I was told inappropriately. So this is a damage 14 blade. That's not that important. And then we've got a damage 28 blade, which is actually slightly better than our damage than our current blade. So that one we'll take. So that's damage 28. Damage 11 is not important. Storm Fury's damage 15. Because that one's 50 damage per second. This one's only 24 damage per second. And this one has hunger for 2 seconds on hit, which isn't important. That's a PvP thing. Dragon Chestplate is 8 armor compared to our 12 and gives us a little bit of health, but that's not important. Again, 8 armor and 8 armor, so these ones aren't important. I'm doing all the epic ones first because the epic ones are the ones that will give us epic shards. Dragon Helmet, 3 armor and 4 health. I think this is worth more. Yeah, 7 armor and 3 health. I think the armor's slightly more important. And then again, I think this is an old one, this Viking chestplate, because it's only 8 armor. So I think it's the modern version of Megaloots has randomized armor value. So when you see something with 8 armor, it's one of the older Megaloots. So what I'll do is I'll break this stuff down and then I'll go and deal with our Night Slime, which should be finished. Okay, so this should have Night Slime in it. It's got Molten Night Slime, it's got 2 seed ingots, 20 blood, 2 ingots of... Okay, that's weird. It's not quite evened out exactly as I thought it would, but oh well. That's fine, we've got plenty of Night Slime now. Night Slime is an interesting ingredient, shall we say. And then what have we got? We've got 2 ingots of seared stone, that's fine, we can pour those out. And then we've got 2 ingots of iron, we can pour those out. And then what happens if we pour out the blood? The blood fills this tank, but then we can break you. And we can put you back down and you're empty. Good, that's fine. So we need some of these guys, and what we're going to do now is we're going to make the basin upgrade, which is what it wanted us to make. So let's look up basin. So first things we need to do is make a basic upgrade plate, which means lapis and paper. We've got 400 lapis, so that's not a problem. Lead or aluminium? Lead's cheaper to make, so let's do a lead one. And then we need a wooden chest upgrade, which just requires us to make 4 chests, and then we can do that, that's fine. And that's literally just copper and chests. Then we have aluminium and iron, we're just missing the iron. I'm definitely going to need to make more iron, although the sieves that I've set up should be making iron in the background. So there's our 4 iron. And then we've got gold and night slime nuggets. There we go. And then we need manulian nuggets, and I think we need 4 diamonds. And we still got 118 diamonds left, so that's not too much of a problem. And then if we look use on this, we need 4 obsidian, 4 casting basins, a fortune upgrade. Increases 30% of triplication rate for ore crusher. Weird. Okay, so Tinker's IO apparently has an ore crusher that triples ores. So we need 4 basins, 4 obsidian. We've got the obsidian, and I thought I picked up some bricks. I did. So we need 3 more basins. 1, 2, 3. And then this should make me a basin upgrade. Lovely. We'll put away the manulian, the night slime, that as well. So the basin upgrade is switch to basin mode for the smart outputter. I don't think I want to switch to basin mode. Ingot mode is far and away fast enough that I don't really need to switch to basin mode. And that opens up under pressure for us. Which I can't claim for some odd reason. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to update the pack because there's something weird and slightly broken going on at the moment. But, yeah, definitely going to need to update the pack. But that unlocks under pressure for us. The next thing we need to do is, in some true magic, we need to get on with Psi. The first thing we need is a rod constructor. I've never used Psi before, so I don't know what I'm doing with this one. So this looks pretty simple, really. We just need an iron ingot or two to make the piston. And then a piece of wood, because we don't quite have enough logs. And that should allow us to make a Psi rod constructor. Okay, so this looks more complicated than I thought it would at Psi. Okay, so we need to start off an iron rod frame, which is 2 iron and 4 iron and a log. We can do that easily enough. Iron rod frame, 4 iron and a rod. That should get us started. And it didn't detect that we'd made this. There we go, now it's detected. You'll need to start with a basic rod constructor. There we go, we've started with the basic rod constructor. The very first thing you're able to do with your focusing wand is turn redstone into sawdust. Okay, so we need a focusing wand. So, stats. And that just makes us a focusing wand straight off. Okay, so this is a efficiency 70%, potency 100%. It's got no crooks, no notch, no source, and no varnish. Okay. So that's a very, very basic wand. And this allows us to turn redstone. Oh, I'm completely out of redstone. Oopsie. I did not realise I was completely out of redstone. I believe redstone is just 2 of each. Yeah, redstone is just 2 of each. There we go. So, do I just... No, I don't do that. Do I... Boopty boop? Aha! I do that. And then... No? How on earth do I make you? Yeah, I have no idea how to turn redstone into... Ah, like that. I see. You got 1 level point. Equip your rod and press C to use. And that kind of takes away hunger and does a little bit of damage. So, C. Oh, okay. So we're just kind of absorbing the sawdust into the wand. Okay. To make different spells, you're going to need a spell programmer. And to cast them, you're going to need to put them on a spell bullet and then add it to your focusing wand. However, you are also probably going to want to construct a better focusing wand. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to look into Psi. If I press C, it just brings up my wand and doesn't let me level up. But apparently I'm supposed to be able to level up. So I'm definitely going to have to look into Psi. It seems interesting. We've like turned a little bit of, or turned a stack of redstone into Psi power. Which is certainly something I wasn't expecting. So what I'll do in the meantime is I'll finish breaking down the epic loot we've got in there in the case, and I'll have a look into what we're doing with Psi and how we change things in Psi. Because we need a spell node, which is paper, wood, and sawdust. And we also need a spell construction table. Spell inscriber, which is gold, empty map, which is easy enough, and sawdust. Okay. So this isn't particularly complicated, like this is a manageable looking thing. Oh, we sampled 50 variety of food and gained another heart. That's excellent, we got another heart out of that. In the meantime, I'll also start prepping for using up all this chaos that we've been making, because we're now up to over a stack of chaos. And before I go, one last thing I did want to do was the morph tool. So the morph tool is a very simple thing. You just make it out of iron and 3 different coloured dyes, red, green and blue. I'm not completely out of iron. Give me... Oh, because I have a stack of iron over there. That's why. So what we can do with the morph tool is, now that we have the morph tool, we can get out things like the monkey wrench, the engineer's hammer, we can get out the wand, and we can start crafting these things together. And what the morph tool should do... No, it doesn't work with that one. It does work with this. We've also got a buildcraft rod, buildcraft spanner, which we can do it with. And what it should do is, when we point at something, like for instance these buildcraft pipes, it should become a buildcraft wrench. There we go. Kind of slightly confused. Come on. It's kind of working. So we also have a Britannia wand in there. So if we were to point it at something Britannia based, it should become a Britannia wand. Like so. So it becomes a Britannia wand. So yeah, it does kind of work. I need to get a little bit more used to the morphing tool. But we do seem to be progressing okay. I need to look into Psy, because that's the next place we need to go. And I also probably need to update my pack, because I can't actually complete this quest. So I'm going to update the pack, I'm going to look into Psy, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.